Okay, so we just got a brand new car that is a little more complicated than the normal cars that we work on. We don't know anything about this, but it's got lots of problems with the engine, suspension, gears, brakes, and it's loud. So we got muffler problems, but none of this has been discovered yet. So we don't know anything about it. So the troubleshooting method that I do is I'll come in here to the engine and just start down my list. Let's check the electronics and see. We're getting experience points. We're about 100 away from hitting level 11. We'll hit a level 11 just by diagnosing this car. This is going to just show you how easy it is to get experience points. So nothing crazy showing up there. Let's do a compression. Okay, engine can't be started. That tells us some information, but it does have an OBD2 scanner because it's a newer car. I think any car made since 1994 has an OBD scanner in it. I know that because I OBD scan stuff all the time. We're probably not going to be able to do the compression test because the car can't be started. Okay, but that does tell us some information. And we can see just by doing our test, we've got a computer control. We got an ignition coil that's bad. So a couple things already. And then I'm going to right click. We're going to start examining the thing visually. As much as we can. We're going to get experience points every time for this. So 17 points for this. And normally I don't sit here and count my experience points. I just play the game and the points come. I really don't look at it as, oh, I need to get another level. Oh, what can I do? I just take jobs based on what I have time for or what feels fun at the time. Just doing a quick oil changes, something light, or hey, let's take this entire engine apart and rebuild it completely. Now there are ways that we could speed this process up through spending experience points. Let's take a look real quick at, so 76 is our magic number. That is, oops. All right, what are we doing here? Computer. 76. That's the number. So we have to replace all these parts with a quality of 76 or better. So we're going to go back in. I'm going to keep going through. Dang it. My mouse is dying on me. Need to take it apart, air dust it or whatever I can. So we're just checking all the things. It's everything. Drive shaft. We know one of these is bad because he says it's loud. There it is. You got the suspension in the back. So that this all being said, as well as we're talking along, here comes level 7 or level 11. Some of these cars, even though they have different bodies, kind of have a very similar frame and undersize and engines and stuff. It's not that diverse. So it gets to a point where it can be a little boring. There's level 11. But, I mean, if I were to sit here and stream this for 8 hours a day for a month, I would definitely get bored. Okay, so we have everything checked out. Let's take a look. Okay. We still got wheel bearings, tie rods, brake system hasn't been tested yet, but we got all kinds of stuff figured out just by looking at it. So let's pull this thing in. Hit the hood. We can see this is bad right here. If we look at this, radiator needs to be replaced. How do I want to start this? Just kind of looking at stuff. The ABS pump needs to go. Sometimes it's like, where do I want to start? 'Cause I don't want to get lost and confused. take this out, and sometimes you don't know until you actually pull it out that it needs to be replaced. So I'm just doing like a visual inspection on things real quick just to see if there's anything that stands out. This radiator I feel needs to go, although it's not listed anywhere. I feel like it needs to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drain the coolant. And then I'm going to pull, oops, we got to take this fan housing off first, then the radiator. Bang, 26%. I wonder if that showed up. Yep, radiator A. Serpentine belts. There's all kinds of stuff that needs to be fixed. Let's start highlighting some of these. And I don't have anything in my warehouse that's old, so all this is new. Well, I should say for this vehicle. So right away, it's showing us some things that it knows about that need to be replaced. This pulley, which is inside of here, needs to come out. We can take this computer out. Need to lift the car for that. Oops. So let's just go ahead and get in here. Like I said before, in other videos, if you get motion sick easily, this probably is not the game for you, or take some Dramamine, which I've done before. I've taken Dramamine just to play video games. It does zoom in and out all by itself quite a bit, which is what it's doing here. Let's take this off. Like, I'm not touching the camera. It just zooms in and out for fun. So, can be fun, can sometimes be a little bit of a pain. What do we got here? Do we have anything? Yeah, we got to take this wheel off to get at the tie rod on the back. And then the wheel bearing. So we're going to have to take this off. Pulls that whole thing out. Should be able to swivel around. That brake caliper doesn't look too good. Let's take it off. No, neither do the brake pads. Yeah, brake caliper was 16%, 24%. So we're doing some stuff. We're also finding new things. Is the fuel tank bad as well? Let's take off the rear axle part. We can take off the wheel hub. This doesn't look too good. Let's take off the caliper. Let's see what else. This disc doesn't look good. 27%. I knew I didn't like it. Oh, this is a rear muffler. We got to pull it all the way up for that. And there's nothing on this back wheel that needs to be fixed that we know about. So let's come over here. Let's lift it up again. Work on the underside. Let's take this muffler off. And take this muffler off. And now let's kind of see where we are. We still have some engine parts to discover that we don't know about. We got all those. General running gear control repair. We still have some brakes. Loud when accelerating. So, general running gear. This is where it gets a little bit fun. Trying to look around. I'm looking at bushings. I'm looking at shocks. This needs to go. This brake disc is bad, I can tell. 14%, so that was pretty bad. And I'm just doing a visual inspection just to see if we can see anything. I don't see anything wrong with these bushings. Let's go swing around here. Looking around for some rust. Not seeing anything that stands out as gross. All those bushings look okay. Let's switch to the back and start poking around in here. Again, I'm looking at bushings, looking at spring parts. Swing back around here. Bushing looks fine. Let's get rid of disable input director because it's making me go to my other screen. So nothing's really standing out as bad. I see some brake pads in there that don't look good. Let's take this off. Yep, you see them? They don't look good. Even though it wasn't showing as part of an issue, we found some parts that were part of an issue. So this is all clean. We still have general running gear, part not discovered. Brake systems, we got everything there. So we really have our tie rods. This is general running gear, control and repair. While we're under here, where's the front? While we're under here, let's take a look at, sometimes the bushings are hard to see. Like they might be in here. And I guarantee it's going to be something stupid like a small bushing. So this all comes out as one unit, but the upper left, it'll show us rubber bushing 10%. It's always a hidden bushing, and we can verify that when we come in here. Rubber bushing. And we've got another one. I guarantee, I almost guarantee you it's another rubber bushing someplace. It's not that one, so let's put that one back. 85. 86. It's got to be in the back. There's all kinds of bushings back here, and it's probably a part of this knuckle or something stupid. Because there's stuff in here, so we got to take shock absorber off, spring, cap, the arm. Got a couple bolts. Oh, that wasn't it. All right, I will dismantle this world to find it. Well, you have to. Not seeing it. That one looks good. This one looks good as well. This one in here looks fine. Yeah, I know. It gets a little... Let's take this off. It gets a little dizzying. But we gotta find this part. So we gotta make the money. Oops. All right. We are hunting stupid part. Be in here. That all looks fine. We're at bushing it. See if it's in here. Nope. Yeah, sometimes, it's so frustrating. I take this whole stupid thing apart. Find one little bushing that's hidden somewhere, like down in here. Oops. And it keeps flashing red because the part I'm trying to look at can't be taken off unless the part in red is taken out. So, giving you a little bit of a headache, maybe. It's in there. Pushing in there. Let's take it out. Ah. But I want to find it. Here's a little bushing. Little baby bushing. This one looks good too. All the up. There it is. You see that? Look at that. See how grody and gross it looks? Can't zoom in any further. That's it right there. Oh, that one in there doesn't look too good either. 10%. Found it. So now when we come in here and look at suspension, control, we found the bushing. These are all brake pads. We don't care about those. I think we have almost everything checked off except for the engine faults. So we've got to look a little bit closer at the engine stuff. Let's, for funsies, because this is a little bit easy and cheap. I don't think we pay for oil. We're going to drain the oil. And then we're going to put it back. And then while we've got it up, let's just take a look at the underside to see if there are any pistons or anything strange or something hidden in here that just looks odd. And I'm looking at crankshaft bearing caps, rod caps. Just scoot over. These all look fine. And then you can kind of see in here, let's hit F and then not F. I mean, it doesn't, you can tell if they're bad because they'll be like just black. Oops. I mean, these look black, but they're shiny black. They'll be like a corroded black if the pistons are bad. But that doesn't mean that the piston rings aren't bad. It just means we can't see anything bad right now. Let's leave that off and start pulling the engine apart, right? Because if we look at this, repair all engine faults, we've got a couple of things to look at here. All the outside engine parts look fine. Let's start taking this head apart. Let's take off the timing cover. Those look fine. Let's take apart the ignition coils, spark plugs. Like I said, sometimes you just got to do this. We have no engine in here, or no oil in the engine, so that's good. And then we can take the cap off, or the cover. It's lined up. Wish my mouse wasn't dying on me. There we go. Look at that rod. That rod is shot. The camshaft. So we have to take it out, but it is attached with this gear. And it's also attached on this side with this gear. So this will be one of our issues that we'll find. And we got to take off all these camshaft caps. This has got to be really boring to watch. Okay, we got that one out. And I think what I want to do, let's take all of these ignition or fuel injectors out. just to see if any one of these are bad. Seems like they're all good so far. And let's take off. Let's take this head off, I guess. We got to find the part. Oops. Chain first. And then we got to take off the throttle. Then the intake manifold. Then we got to take this rod out. Okay, so that's out. Now we gotta take, it's always just a bunch of extra stuff, isn't it? Gotta take off the turbocharger. It's all right. I'd rather do this in a computer than in real life, because we don't have to deal with gaskets and sealants. We just take it off. All right, let's take a look at this. This all looks fine. Part not discovered in the engine. I'm gonna guess that there are some piston rings that are bad, because everything else looks fine. Unless it's in the gearbox. We did not look at the gearbox. So let's take this off while we're here. Might as well. Take this off. I think everything else has to be taken off from. Oh, I can just take this out. But we got to take the drive shaft off to get to this. Do we? Let's lift it up again. I mean, we pretty much have the whole thing taken apart. We might as well. We might as well take a look at this gearbox. Oops. Gotta take the drive shaft out. Now we can take the gearbox out. Let's see what we get. It's not this. It's going to be the piston rings, is my guess. So there's another reason why you want to have an engine stand. You just take some bolts off and take the engine out, put it on a stand, and you can just work around it. Okay, this looks fine. Unfortunately. So the next thing is the actual pistons. Let's take these pistons out. Because it could be just a ring, and I've seen this happen before, where everything is fine, but the rings are shot. If this isn't it, I don't know what it could be. Let's take a look real quick. Part not discovered. Okay. Let's drop it down. And then we got to just pull these pistons with Conrad's. Piston ring, 70%. Called it. Let's check them all. Okay, everything else looks fine. So now we have everything is checked off. Let's mark everything here. So that's what we got. So let's go into our inventory, and we're going to right click on all of these that need to be replaced. Anything under 76%? I feel like I missed something. Everything else is fine. I feel like I missed something in here. Let's do this whole other row. Why not? Okay. Actually, let's clear off our notes. Let's do that again. There we go. So everything on our list is what we need to purchase. So that's going to be in electronics, middle muffler. And this is exactly why I like to have cash on hand. Because this job's going to cost a bit. Brake pads times 2. Let's just buy them anyway. I need it ventilated. Two of those. Small rubber bushing. Brake calipers. Piston rings. Some of these are in the electronics department, so we'll have to go over there. Just double check. Yep, there's a radiator. There's our camshaft. So we're spending some money just getting this done. That's 550 right there. There's 1,000. So right, we spent $3,000 or $4,000 just getting the parts that we needed for this. Let's hang on to all the parts we have. Now we just got to reassemble it, right? And it shouldn't take too long. Pistons, we can put a 90 with a 90. Put that in. 87 with a 91. Oops. 91 with a 91. Best for the last. 85 with 100. Here we go. Oops. Put that one back. Let's just stay on top while we're here. Put in our 94% cam shaft and our 100% camshaft. Spark plugs. I think it does a pretty good job of remembering what was where. Be wrong on that. Remember, our limit is 76%. So we can you can use any part that we need to fit the part location with 76 or better. So we'll just use this for now. Which is one reason why you don't want to really throw away anything above a certain percentage, because even though you have in your hand is junk parts, it's perfectly, I mean, I've seen like 37% as some of these come through. It's like, I don't care, just replace it with anything as long as it's 37% or better. Okay. So it does help to have crap on hand. There's that. Put. Then it's just a process of reassembly and hoping everything fits. Hope you don't forget a bolt. So one thing nice about this is you never run out of, you never hit that scenario where like, I have extra parts, because it'll tell you. It'll tell you. So I try to focus on as much of one section as I can. Like we just do all the top stuff that we have access to here. Okay, and we can put our new radiator in. 100%, not 26. And then our fan. So this is a part, and it's got 2 blades. Stick that in. Cam gear. Big old bolt. Let's put in our belt. Belt tensioner. Cover 77%. That's right at the limit. That's how we came in. Let's get down in here. New crankshaft pulley. Gonna be purring like a kitten when we're done. Okay, there's that. Let's swing around here. And this is the part where just having music on in the background really helps this situation. Should have a new ECU computer. These are always expensive. And we've got our brake pump. And our module was already in pretty good shape. Okay, I think it's pretty good from this side. Start putting stuff together. Some of this stuff, we got to be under the car to do it. Let's go ahead and assemble this brake. 76 is our limit. 77 with 85. And got to be under the vehicle. Let's go over here to the other wheel. Put in this wheel hub for 100. Tie rod. Okay. Let's go to the back and deal with this stuff. Looks like we're out of bad brake pads. Back that out. So we got this one, 81%, 80%. Got to be underneath it to do that. We missing anything else over here? Maybe not. It's got to be under it to do that. So let's go ahead and lift it up. I'm sure we're going to miss something and have to come back, but let's just check it out. We're putting stuff on. Brake pads, calipers. I don't know why I'm talking about every single thing that I'm doing. You can clearly see what's happening. muffler. Gotta put these springs back together. Caps. Okay. Oh, here we go. I think I took the other side off too, didn't I? Yep. Okay, nothing else is ghosting except the tires. That's the back. Let's go to the front. Got some work to do here. Put this engine back together. We are a ways from hitting level 12. We need 1,000 points and we've only got 185. It's all right. So I said you get to a point where you don't even think about experience points. Just like, all right, let's keep going. Doing other cars, taking them apart, checking them out. Torque to spec. Muffler. Get this lower suspension in here with better bushings. All right. Is there anything that I'm missing? I don't think there is. Put these tires back on. One thing you can do is just click and see and make sure everything is checked off. If this is flashing, your order's finished. You've replaced all the parts. Now, that being said, we did drain the oil and the coolant. So we'll have to go put that back on. Over here. Okay. Let's lower it. And then we have to add the coolant. I don't think I forgot anything. We're going to find out. Coolant, the oil. Oh, it'll tell you if you missed something. Okay, and we're going to check it off. Finished car is complete. The starter is missing. Told you. I forget about this often. There we go. Got it. I didn't see how much we got, but we got 10,500. We were down to 5,000, so we got at least 4,000, 5,000 out of it. Sell all the crap. Okay, we got 10,000 now. Let's take a look and see if we want to buy something. We got another lift, so we can have 2 cars if we wanted to, but I kind of want to get engine tools, stand and a crane. Doing it. And let's get the brake lathe. It should be good. Now we come back over here, we can see we got a couple of stands. This is the cherry picker, the engine pole, and the engine stand. And then over here, if we have, we could check this out, lathe. You don't have necessary parts. So all of our disc brakes are good. Here we can create a new engine. We install the engine on the stand. We can rotate it right and left, take it off. So here you can pretty much build out, you know, I want to make this. And you can start going from there. You start looking for parts. You only have one stand, but you can take the engine off as you have it, you know, with whatever parts. You can take it off and you can store it. So I might have one warehouse that has, oops, I might have like engines in process, or have, you know, a whole warehouse dedicated to just one type of engine, so I don't get all confused and stuff. So that's what you can do with that. All right, I'm just gonna keep going, filling more orders. Need to get rid of that. I think if I put another jack there, it'll get rid of the bus. We got 7,000, 25. I don't want to be that close. You saw what we just went through for this. We spent almost $5,000, so we'll get there.